Like, you're already into a career at 10. Some of us are 41 and haven't fully grasped our careers yet.
Hey y'all, it's Angela Rye. You may have seen me on CNN or maybe The Breakfast Club or maybe on my Instagram. Although I'm always on the road working, there's always been some things I want to try. Some things come really natural to me. The others, well, let's just say they need a little bit of work. Welcome to my on-one masterclass. I hope you find something you love.
With each breath in, as you're breathing in deeply,
I hope you'll laugh.
Oh
no! Joke.
I'm out. What did you just call that ball?
This is my Wakanda ball.
And have a good time with all of us. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You do not want to miss this.
Hi, how are you doing, Tiana?
I'm doing fine. Yourself?
Very good, thank you. So we have a little bit of a connection issue, so hopefully it clears up soon. I see it's a little grainy, but all throughout COVID, Tiana, I've been doing something called a masterclass. And the masterclass has been with people who have excelled in their craft, and you stood out as someone who could help me be a better journalist and ask all the right questions. So I wanted to talk to you about how you got started, you know, how you got interested in this work, and anything else about your background that you want to tell me.
So, well, basically how I got started is I actually started out with modeling. I used to do all these different shows with modeling, and one day I did New York Fashion Week. Mm-hmm. And there I got a chance to take this red carpet broadcasting and red carpet hosting class, and I really enjoyed it. I was like, okay, I think this is kind of what I want to do. Yeah. From there, as you mentioned, I did some of the kids segments that Good Morning America had, and I got to ask questions to people like Letitia Wright, Carol Burnett, Chelsea Clinton, and I had a fun time with that. And then after that, I was like, okay, this is definitely what I want to do. So then my mom and I started looking for other ways I could do that. And we came across the Time Magazine for Kids contest. I submitted and I became 1 out of 10 of their reporters for the 2018 to 2019 school year. And I was their youngest reporter. So since then, a bunch of other stuff has happened. Kelly Clarkson's show, my interns with Access Hollywood, Ariana Huffington. I also became the youngest member in the history of the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists, and I got to attend my first National Association of Black Journalists convention last year. I got to do it this year, but it's virtual because of COVID, but it was still fun and very educational.
Wow, Tiana. So let me ask you this, because there are probably some college students out here that haven't even had internships yet. So what did you do at your internships, and what did you learn?
What I did at the internships is one for the one with Ariana Huffington. I went to New York. She has a online thing called Thrive Global, and it's all about just mental health and wellness for your body. And I actually got to write an article on kids' mental health and wellness for her. I got to take a tour, kind of learn what they do. It was really fun. From that, I think I just learned a lot about wellness and how they take care of themselves, because they actually, when they're take a nap, meditate, something like that. And I think that's the one thing I learned. And then with the one for Access Hollywood, there I got to take a tour of the Access Hollywood studio. I got to talk to Mario Lopez, Kit Hoover, Scott Evans. I got to meet all of them. I actually got to look over the scripts and kind of make sure they were kind of doing the right thing. Got a chance to do way more. It was learned how to work shows and things like that. So they were both really fun. And also part of Access Hollywood, I got to do my first red carpet. Well, it was actually purple carpet, but red carpet movie premiere for the Addams Family last year. And that was really great. I got to meet people like Snoop Dogg, Charlize Theron. It was really great.
So you're 10 years old. And this has become a passion for you. When did it become a passion for you? When did you say, you know what? I know you talked about, it started with modeling. You went to New York Fashion Week, but what made you dive into this? Like, you're already into a career at 10. Some of us are 41 and haven't fully grasped our careers yet.
I think when I became most passionate was when I became the Time Magazine for Kids reporter. That really just was something that, like, I had never done it a day in my life. I always said that one day I wanted to be on TV, even though it might have been me acting, but I never knew it was going to be me ending up being a reporter. So I think just from doing that and getting the experience, getting to actually go to the studio and meet all the people, see what they do, I think that's when I knew that this is really what I want to do.
One of the other things that I appreciated about reading about you, Tiana, is you've become pretty active in the NAACP, and that's a connection that you and I have because I competed. The NAACP has something for when you get to high school. I know that's just around the corner at the rate you're going. Called the ACSO program. It's the Academic, Cultural, Technological, Scientific Olympics of the Mind. And you're already so far on your way in broadcast journalism. If they don't have a category yet in ACSO, they've got to have one for you. What got you involved with the NAACP?
I think what got me involved is I saw all the things that they were doing. And I just really liked what they do. And I actually became a Vote For Me ambassador with them to help encourage people to go out and vote. It was really great with that experience. And I became part of my local chapter with the Youth and College Division. And I'm like probably their youngest for that. I'm actually the youngest for a lot of things, but that's kind of how I got started with that. I started doing more. They had something where they were in Philadelphia. They were canvassing. They had marches. I went up to that. I got to meet some of the people, help them with that. And after that, I was doing phone banking for the first time. That was a good experience. I've actually learned a lot from it. It's helped me do so much with using my voice.
You talked about a moment ago, you're probably the youngest in a lot of spaces. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel happy knowing that I'm like one of the youngest doing this. And then at the same time, I feel like it just has me wanting to inspire other people or other kids like me to get into the industry and start doing things like what I'm doing. Because I feel like it's kind of different being the only or like the youngest, but I feel like it really just helps me want to inspire other kids to do what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you that you're not just inspiring kids, Tiana, you're inspiring adults too, which brings us to the point of the Masterclass. Well, first, you don't just have journalist aspirations, you also are running for class president. Talk to us about your campaign so far. What's your platform?
All right, so it's actually very funny that you mentioned that. Yeah, I am running for class president. My mom actually has like a lot of background in like marketing and instructional design. So I want her to help me. Like, we're doing things with Google Slides, where we get out the word. We're just doing a whole bunch of things like that. You can't go directly through people that you know, but I'm really just working hard to be a great leader for my class, and hopefully I do become the class president, but even if not, I'll be very happy for whoever does.
Yeah. What about what you want to happen for your class though? What are some of your goals as the class president? What will you do? What's going to set you apart from the competition?
That's a really good question. I think what's gonna set me a bit different is that I'm really gonna be someone who's like really on task, really just always helping my class. I'm going to be someone who's like really smart, I think I'm just gonna be like a great leader for my class, someone that they can look up to, for anything that they possibly need. I think that's really just what I want to do with it. And I'm also going to be a great listener. I'm going to be someone who listens to all my classmates' opinions on whatever they need or whatever ideas that they have.
That's good, Tiana. It's a good start. Listening. So let's dive into this masterclass. Speaking of listening, I have someone who's like a brother to me, Charlemagne, on the Breakfast Club. And he told me a long time ago that listening is one of the most important skills you can gain or you can have to be a good interviewer. What do you think about that?
I totally agree. I feel like you really have to listen to what the person is saying, because even though it might be a long, dragged out answer, you still have to be able to listen to them to show that you're really engaged and interested in what the person is saying. And then sometimes it might always help you, because like sometimes they might respond with something to a question, and then that triggers another question inside your head to ask next. So I think it's just really important that you listen to your guests.
Good information. What other tips do you have on live interviews that you can give me so I can get better? I want to get better. I want to be as good as you, Tiana.
Thank you. Some other tips is you have to be personable. You have to make sure that your guests are very comfortable, and even have them maybe want to tell you a little bit more about themselves. You also just you really just have to be yourself. You have to be confident. You have to believe that you can do whatever you want to do. Like I said, you do have to be a great listener. You have to do research so that you know about your guests. And you're not just asking like a weird question that doesn't have anything to do what they're doing. So I think those are like some of the top things. You also have to be someone who loves learning, because with journalism, you always are learning something new about a person or what they do. And also journalism has really changed over the years, and I've learned a lot from that. Like now we're doing everything online instead of in person. I don't get to go to the theaters anymore, which is something that I really enjoyed. So a lot of things have changed in journalism, but I think those are the top tips that I would give.
Okay, so how do you feel about doing a little demo interview with me? I want you to interview me so that I can learn from you. How do you feel about doing that?
Yes. I'm ready.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Yes. So for my first question for you, what do you enjoy the most about your job?
I think, Tiana, it is being able to create opportunities for people like you. I know that if I show up to work and do my best every single day, that opens the door for another young Black girl, that it opens the door of opportunity for other young Black boys, other young Black people. And so I work really hard to ensure that I'm always performing with the best, that I'm prepared, that I am informed, that I'm, equipped with facts. And so when I go on air, I'm, able to do my very best. I think what you were just saying a moment ago about being a reader and a researcher and being prepared as a journalist on the interviewing side and the hosting side, I like to make sure I have a lot of information. And sometimes I don't even go to it, but I want to be able to refer to it if I need it. So that's really, really important to me, showing up and being prepared to do my best. I think I was just talking to my best friend earlier, and the thing that I love the most about all the things I do is knowing that I am in a position every time I show up to do my best to make an opportunity that much easier for the next person. So being able to create opportunities for people who look like me is by far the most rewarding part and the best part of my job.
That's really cool. Well, you are definitely an inspiration for me, and you have definitely done that for kids all over.
Thank you.
So, what is something that you want to learn or be better at?
Ooh, so much. I want to be a better listener. We were just talking about that. I want to be more kind. I think that
You're so kind. I said you already are so
I'm
kind.
kind to you. I'm not kind to everybody. But I want to be more kind without expecting that in return from people. I want to be able to be kind because it's the right thing to do. I want to be more open-minded. I think sometimes, you know, as you get older, Tiana, you know, you have a set way that you see the world. And so you're like, this is how it is no matter what. And I want to be able to shift out of that to give myself new possibility and other people who I encounter. And I don't know. I want to keep growing and keep being my best. Ooh, you know what I really want to do? I want to get on my Peloton more. I want to get on the bike more, especially in COVID. I want to make sure that I'm exercising a lot. I did twice this week already. So hopefully when we get off of our interview masterclass, I can go hit the bike again to keep my promise to you.
Yeah, that's really great. Just making sure that you're taking care of yourself through COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And for my last question, since we are in COVID, if you could host a social distancing dinner party for 5 other people, who would you invite and what would you cook?
That is a great question. I love that, Tiana. Social distance dinner party. So one of my favorite chefs right now is Chef Kwame. He ran a restaurant recently in DC called Kith and Kin, which is fantastic. And I feel like to have a really good dinner party, I'm going to cheat and have a really good chef in here to give me some good tips. I also had a masterclass earlier this year with Patti LaBelle, who you know is also a fantastic cook, and she's so much fun. So I would have Patti LaBelle. Who else would I have? I would have Black Thought because he's one of my favorite rappers. And he didn't do my master class to teach me how to freestyle, so maybe he would freestyle at the party. I would have, who else? I want to think of some outside the box people. I'm trying not to go to my defaults, my friends. I love you, friends, but I'm gonna get some other people. I would have.
What about me?
Yes, of course, Tiana. But I haven't even finished yet. But yes, we're gonna have you because we know you're gonna ask all the good questions. So yes to Tiana, the celebrity journalist. And then I would have Kamala Harris because she just made history the other day, becoming the first Black woman vice president. So we got to have her here to let us know, you know, what she's going to do for us Black folks in this new administration. And we get to have some good rapping, some good eating, some good laughs, some good questions, and some good strategy. That's my kind of dinner party.
I totally agree. That sounds like a fun dinner
I want to
party.
know who's going to be at your dinner party.
Ooh. Who would be at my dinner party? One, I would also invite Kamala Harris. She would be someone who is definitely on my list. I would also want to invite Kevin Hart. He's someone that I've been wanting to interview for a while. I would want to invite Jamie Foxx. He would be another person that I really would want to talk to or even have at a dinner party. I would have you. You would be someone that I would like to invite. I feel like you're very fun. I would want to have Oprah. Oprah would be someone that I would like to have. I think those are my top 5. There's probably like a lot more people that would want to, even though we have the social distance, there's a lot more people that would want to invite, but maybe another time.
Okay. Well, we got to get this dinner party going. So we got to ask your mom and hopefully we can make this happen. I am going to commit to you to see who I know in my space who can help you get that Kevin Hart interview. I want that for you too.
Thank you.
You can't hurt but to ask. You have to ask somehow. And I'm sure you learned that too in journalism. You got to be persistent. You can't give up easy. So we got to figure out if Tiana wants to interview Kevin Hart, she gets to interview Kevin Hart. Come on, people. So we'll ask some questions. I'll see who I know that would be willing to help. you have also done your own show. And so your web series is called Lights, Screen, Action. And you were going to give me some tips on how to get my own show up or get it better, and how to find great guests. What are some of the things you do to find great guests?
A lot of times I do tend to like look on social media and then just see people who are doing things that I'm interested in, people that I think would, because like part of my show is I like inspiring other kids. So like people that I think would be a really great inspiration, like who do things that maybe other kids may have never heard of. Like once I interviewed an ice cream scientist. That was really fun. And like I like teaching other kids like that there's more than just like certain things that they know about that they can do. Because before I interviewed, her name is Maya Warren. Before I interviewed her, I didn't even know there was such thing as an ice cream scientist.
Like, why didn't I know
like,
that?
I knew
I
that
would do
there.
that job. Why didn't I know that?
Yeah, like it seems like something really fun. And then when I talked to her, I was like, wow. I mean, I knew someone had to pick the flavors, but I didn't know there was a whole ice cream scientist.
That's incredible. Does she taste all the flavors?
Yes, she also does make flavors.
Wow. So here's the thing. This is the question I have for her. Maybe you asked it. What happens? You know how like there are certain flavors, like I'm not a bubblegum ice cream person. I'm not a mint chocolate chip ice cream person, but I love like butter pecan and something with caramel in it and some type of chocolate. If you don't like those flavors, how do you know that you tasted it and it's right?
Oh, that would actually be a good question to ask her.
I want to know. Go back and do a repeat, like just an encore interview, and say we have some more questions about this, and I think you need a backup. We have some backup tasters for you.
Yes.
So, in addition to your ice cream scientist, you said you go on social media to figure out kind of what people are interested in, but you've also thought outside the box. Do you ever feel like you hit a wall trying to come up with people you want to talk to?
No, not really, because like there's still people that I always have in my head that I haven't talked to yet. I'm like, okay, like, because I'm always just looking to see if there's people that are doing great things that I'm interested in, maybe that I think I would be interested in. So I don't think there's any time where I've really hit a wall, because I've always still had people in my head that I wanted to talk to.
Tiana, how do you have time to do this in school?
I tend to do like a lot of my interviews after school, or sometimes when I have breaks, like we have certain times in school where we have like our lunch break or recess break. And sometimes depending on how long the interview is, sometimes I'll do it at that time. But most times I tend to have it after school.
Where did you get your work ethic from? Is this from your mom? Were you born this way? Did you come out the womb like, I need to set up my schedule?
Yeah, it really is my mom. I feel like she's someone who does have a lot of work ethic, like a lot. Yeah, I think I really get it from her. She's always like managing my schedule. She gave me a like a book, like a calendar book, that I could use. And so, yeah, I think I get most of it from her.
Incredible. Make sure you tell her thank you, because that is something that is so valuable. It's such a valuable skill and a way to be for the rest of your life. So make sure you tell her thank you early. Don't wait till you get old like some of us and be like, you know what, Mom, I finally understood what you were saying to me. That was good. Thank you. So tell her early, because you know now. What's the most nervous you've ever been doing an interview?
I think the most nervous, it's like always probably before an interview. I always feel the most nervous, and then as I'm going through the interview, I'm like that nervousness just goes away, because then I just feel comfortable, kind of like what I was saying about being personable. Just feel so comfortable eventually, kind of like I know the person already because, well, I have done research, but like I really know them, like I've known them forever.
Forever in 10 years, that is a thing. Let me ask you if you've had a favorite interview. Who's your most favorite interview that you've done so far?
Wow, that's a really great question. I don't think I really have a favorite. I think I really like all the interviews that I do because there's always a special reason why I pick that person to talk to. So I think, I don't think I really have like just one favorite. I feel like everyone has something special, and I've always felt that connection from talking to them.
Do you ask good questions in class too?
I feel like in class I don't ask as many questions because like it's either just about what we're doing or I don't have any questions. Sometimes I tend to ask questions during class, like if I'm confused or something like that.
Yeah, I just was curious because it feels like from talking to you, Tiana, you have a genuine interest in people, right? A genuine interest in learning. And if that's the case, then that curiosity doesn't just apply to your interview subject. It's probably like, I probably should ask your mom how many questions you have asked growing up. Like if you are, just naturally.
A lot. I was gonna say she will probably say a lot of questions.
Where do you think that curiosity comes from? Do you think that is also from your mom, or do you think that part of it is just like, I'm just fascinated with the world, I want to see how all this stuff works?
I think the curiosity comes more from me. I feel like I was just born with it. Because something that I used to do when I was younger, I was just always like getting into things. So like I was always just so curious about, what will happen if I do this? I think it really just came from me, and I was just born that way.
I love that. So we just had an election, Tiana, and I know that you're too young to vote, but you're still pretty civically engaged. What is your hope for the next president and vice president? What do you hope to see, especially as you run your own campaign right now for class president?
I want to see a better future for like the younger generation. I want to see just a better future for the whole world. I want to see a lot of things changing, everyone being at peace with each other, no more police brutality. I just want to see everyone, even though we're all different races, religions, we all have different beliefs, I just want us all to kind of feel equal to each other, not that like one race or one belief is over the other. I just want us all to be equal and be at peace.
My last question for you, because so many people are asking it in the chat, they think you are busy, right, Tiana? They are like, she has a job and school. Do you do anything for fun? And if you do, beyond interviewing people, what is it? What do you do for fun?
I do a lot of things for fun. I tend to watch movies. I love watching movies a lot of times. They're like movies that I may have reviewed, things that I'm interested in. I like to play games. Like me and my mom have a bunch of board games. We're playing those. I think those are the main things. I'm always creating, doing art.
What kind of art?
I'm always mixing stuff,
What
cooking.
kind of art?
So a lot of times I just do whatever I feel like doing in the moment. Like the other night I did like a landscape type thing. I just do a lot of art, just whatever I feel like doing in the moment.
Painting or drawing, or do you?
Yeah, I like doing painting. I actually have been getting into doing creations. Like inside of, my mom actually did like a lot of crafting. She still does now, but she did a lot of crafting. She's always making things for me. And so she kind of passed that down to me. And so we have like all these materials, popsicle sticks, fabric, felt. And I'm always just making things out of them, always creating things. And I use a lot of different materials for it, but that's part of it.
I love that. Tiana, it sounds like your mom is your best friend. Is that true?
Yeah, she is. Aside from me, my mom, she probably is my best friend. Like the one I can always go to when I want to talk about things. Yeah.
Well, I am so grateful to have shared this time with you today. I learned a lot about interviewing and what it takes to, you know, be the best at our craft. And I hope that you, when you get off of this Zoom, or it's not even a Zoom, IG Live, that you will give your mom a hug from all of us, from everybody here listening, because you are so impressive. And I know it's because you have strong shoulders to stand on and someone who is there supporting you and cheering you on, your best friend and your mommy. So thank you for making time. Please tell her thank you for making time for us, and thank you for the gift you are to the world. I cannot wait to see what you go and continue to do. And you know you have a fan and a champion in me, so if you need anything, I am not far.
Thank you
so much. Let's go work on this Kevin Hart interview.
All right.
Okay, bye, Tiana.
Bye. Thank you.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of On One with Angela Rye Masterclass. I hope that you learned some, you laughed some, and you were inspired more. And you want to know how you can do that even more? You just have to subscribe. Go to youtube.com/Angela Rye and hit subscribe. We want you to be the first to know about upcoming episodes. If there's something you want to see, if there's something you really love, or if you hated it, put that in the comments below. I hope you go easy on the hate. I'm a little sensitive.